What you need to do is segment out your potential audience. The more messy you make it, the less aesthetic it looks. Keep it simple. So I suggest that's a no-go. What's up, you guys? I hope you all are having an amazing day. Welcome to the first episode on how to start your own Instagram store. I'm your host from Shop with Roxy. The first step to start your own store is obviously choosing what to sell. What you need to do is segment out your potential audience and target a particular customer base on the basis of the product that you choose to sell. Now, how do you choose what to sell? My suggestion is stick to one type or one category of items. For example, if you choose to sell lingerie, just stick to lingerie. If you're doing books, just do books. If you want to do skirts and dresses, just stick to skirts and dresses. If you mix all of it up, that reduces your effect on your targeted audience and just leaves your customers confused. And that's not something you want, right? When it comes to choosing the item, you need to make sure that the item you're choosing to sell is either an evergreen item or it's in trend at the moment. I'll give you a good example. Last summer, tie-dye was in trend. So the stores that started selling tie-dye back then are established now. And if anybody at this point of time wants to purchase tie-dye, they'll go right back to that store. But if you start a tie-dye store right now, chances are it won't be as successful. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying chances are that it might not be as successful. Now you might say, well, how do I know what's in trend? What items are evergreen? The answer is very simple. Scrolling through Pinterest, scrolling through the profiles of fashion influencers and their reels just gives you a gist of what's in trend at the moment. I'm not saying spend too much time on it. All I'm saying is spend maybe a couple of minutes per week. When it comes to your initial pricing and profit, I suggest you keep the prices really low and your profits, your profit margin very slight or almost zero. So for example, when I started, my profit margin was zero. I was making absolutely no profit. But over the time, I slowly increased my profits and now my pricings are stable. By doing this, you will gain your customers' trust and attract a lot more audience. The next step involves choosing a name, making a logo, and taking pictures to actually post them. If a customer is looking for your store in particular, chances are that they might confuse your store for another store which has a similar name. And you can avoid that by keeping a catchy and easy to remember name, which is also unique. I think you should put a lot of effort and do a little bit of research on the name and logo, because once you've chosen it, don't go back, don't change it, because now your entire audience associates your brand, your identity to the name and logo. So as soon as you change it, you're back to square one. You have to create that audience all over again. So I suggest that's a no-go. To make a logo, you can hire a web designer. It won't cost that much. You can use the simple story tools on Instagram or use the Wix logo maker. I made mine a while ago, so it was free to use, but I think you need to actually make an account to do that now. When it comes to designing your logo, I suggest you stick to a theme of a color, or don't include too many prints, texts, emojis, or symbols, because the more messy you make it, the less aesthetic it looks. So my suggestion is keep it simple, just like the name. Now's the fun part, taking pictures. What makes a good picture? Two things, just two. Number one, good lighting, and number two, a good camera quality. So for number one, good lighting, when I usually use natural lighting, but when it's not there, I use a ring light. And I also own a tripod on which I'm filming right now. It just makes life more convenient when it comes to taking pictures. I'll be linking both the ring light and tripod stand down below in the caption, and I got these off Amazon, just an FYI. When you're clicking your picture, there's one more tiny detail you have to pay attention to, keep your background clear. I'll give you two examples. Here's image A and here's image B. In image A, there's a clear white background, whereas on image B, the background is kind of messy and it might clash with your product. So obviously, image A looks a lot more aesthetic. So I would go with posting image A over image B. One more thing you might want to pay attention to is keeping your page's aesthetic or color theme uniform. Your page looking aesthetic and pleasing to the eye will just attract customers. It's a bonus. So with that, we come to the end of this episode. I hope you all learned something. If you have any questions, you can obviously DM me on @shop.with.roxy, or you can just comment it down below and I will try my best to respond to all of them. I will see you guys very, very, very soon with part 2. Until then, stay tuned, drink water, stay safe, and enjoy!